What is going on, y'all? It is your girl Janiqua A, and I am back with another reading for you guys. If no one told you guys today, I love you, and I know all your dreams and aspirations matter because they do. So let's tap right on in to your energy and get you some messages out here. All right, what are you headed into this week ahead? What is this week ahead bringing you? All right, what can you be getting excited about for this week ahead? Archangel Michael and the light board protect me as I'm channeling some messages for my everything's strength. Right now, your strength is on display. So I don't know what area in your life this is pertaining to, but right now, this week ahead, expect for your strength, your mastery, your skills, like whatever it is that you're strong in, expect it to be on display. Spirit is highlighting your strength. It's beaming the sunshine. I wouldn't be even surprised if I see the sun card. All right, this is a whole lot of spotlight and recognition, highlighting your strengths. All right, and what you're strong at. For some of you guys, you could have even been going to the gym and getting stronger, but there is something about you that has weight. All right, you could be picking up some weight, you could be losing some weight, but there's something about strength. Spirit, give me more on this energy. Ooh, the Seven of Swords. What's going on, y'all? The Ace of Swords. It's looking like you are being called to speak up, speak out, and speak on something. And have all the confidence to do it. Because right now, somebody think they slick, or somebody think they sneaky, or there is a very deceptive energy that clearly you know about. You're being called. Maybe you was trying to confirm if you should speak on something, if you should speak your truth, if you should say your side. Yes, it's looking like your side is being analyzed. Like there is a situation where your side has came into the chat, all right, and something is not adding up when it comes to who you are. The Strength card is our character. It is a major arcana card, and it talks about strong in a sense of mind, body, and spirit. It speaks about courage. It speaks about sticks and stones may break my bones, but words will never hurt me. It speaks about strengthening your mentality, your aura, your magnetism. All of that deals with strength. So something ain't adding up, y'all. There is something being discussed. All right, this could even be a situation where there are people literally researching you or looking you up, and something is not adding up with what is probably being discussed, all right? There could also be a tarnish of character when it comes to your morals and your values, all right? There could be people painting you out as a hooligan or as a very promiscuous person, okay? But let me tell y'all, if y'all didn't know, it's looking like you are remaining 10 toes on your character, all right, your reputation. It is looking like whatever that is being acknowledged, something ain't adding up. And I feel like there are people getting caught in their lies. I'm getting big third house energy, Gemini energy. No offense to my Geminis, but you know, they give like the two-face, like they face is split. And y'all know what I'm talking about. Okay, I don't have to go into detail. Yeah, there's something that you guys are not defending. All right, there's something speaks for itself, your character, but there is something coming out about you where something is not adding up. All right, this is a very solid energy. The Strength card to the Ace of Swords is a very honest, it's a reliable source. All right, not only are you strong, but you got the Ace of Swords. That is a reliable source. That is whatever they talk about, whatever that you are communicating with them, it is the truth. It's solid. It's important. It's usable. It's influential. It's wisdom. See all of those books? All right, a lot of the things the knowledge that you have came from experience. Certain things I'm picking up that you know, all right, can't be read or looked up in a book. There is it's given Akashic records. That's a part of the mind you gotta tap into. That's been lying dormant, but you have access to. All right, when you read more, okay, even if you don't like to read, when you read and feed your mind with new things, okay, it unlocks. It's not as if you never had the wisdom. It unlocks certain areas when you go through their different experiences, right? It unlocks another area in your mind that probably was lying dormant. So oftentimes, there are things that don't even require you to read a book. It requires you to go through an experience to gain the knowledge. I'm hearing you are too experienced for something. All right, like look at this. Like a lot of you guys are not moved, are not phased, and are not budging is what I'm hearing. All right. But the truth is out about some form of lies. It's not adding up. And whatever that is being discussed and shown, it's highlighting your truth. It's highlighting like you are being honest about something. Now, I don't know all y'all business. Okay, I could just read these cards. Spirit, give me more of this energy. The Queen of Swords. Damn. Okay, there's some confliction here. All right, there could have been somebody that judged you. I'm getting this card from the Hoodoo deck. Right, so I'm getting Miss Robinson out of the Hoodoo deck. And I feel like this is a strong message to a group of the collective that someone is being shown how strong your connections is, how strong your spirit team is, how strong you are, how strong your words are, Ace of Swords. Okay? And I feel like it's happening and unfolding. All right? Somebody is being taught a very valuable lesson when it comes to speaking bad on your name, speaking bad on your reputation, speaking bad on anything that they was judgmental about. And that's why you got to be careful with people. For real. all right? Miss Robinson. So Miss Robinson, she was a hoodoo from South Carolina, and according to a lot of people in her small town, she was sweet. She was a law-abiding woman, all right, unless someone crossed her. You know, anybody do protection work. But one day after church, she used to go to church, but she also did hoodoo. So one day Miss Robinson, after church, saw a few people around a woman named Miss Patrick, right? And Miss Robinson walked by, and Miss Patrick said very loudly that she didn't believe root workers should be welcome in a church, and that it was a bunch of made-up nonsense. So Miss Robinson tried her best to like ignore her until she noticed a lot of people started to treat her different. All right, they was making up excuses for why she couldn't visit the church, and had other clients starting to cancel appointments. So it started to affect her business. And it turned out that Miss Patrick was trying her best to destroy Miss Robinson's entire life, even though she hardly didn't knew her. She was judging her by her spirituality, her beliefs, all right, and possibly even just being mean. But Miss Robinson, all right, she was nothing to play with. So Miss Robinson finally approached Miss Patrick and was like, after church, and was like, I told you to never speak ill about, you know, me again, or you're gonna be sorry. So Miss Patrick was laughing, and she was trying to like clown Miss Robinson, and Miss Patrick was basically like, well, you might as well go ahead and root me and stuff like that, just like antagonizing her. So basically, Miss Patrick, you know, she laughing. They walked away, and 29 days later, Miss Patrick's 9-year-old son, Reginald, transitioned unexpectedly after having a cold. All right, and everyone knew that that child was Miss Patrick's pride and joy. So not only was not only was he her only child, she couldn't have any more children. So she was absolutely devastated by that loss. So the card reveals Miss Robinson with the obituary of the little boy and walking past, as if just a statement like, stop talking bad on people, or stop wishing ill on people, or stop being judgmental to people. So, and this card is the devil. All right, there could be a lot of people judged you and said that you was operating out of devil energy because your choice of connection with spirit, like tarot, if you come from a background or an upbringing where you were more Catholic or whatever, and you was raised in a church, there could be people that have judged you and harshly when it comes to calling you the devil, speaking those type of things on your name, even making a whole rumor. I'm hearing rumors. Collective, this is not looking good for a specific person. All right, because the first card that came out is your strength. So there's an obligation around this week ahead where spirit is making sure your strength is felt, is heard, and respected. All right, what's actually helping you in this situation is you remaining in your truth somehow. Speaking out, speaking on, and speaking up for yourself, but remaining in your truth. Miss Robinson, funeral home. All right, with the funeral home, it's giving something is completely ended. If you felt like you had to protect your character or defend that you believe in the Most High because of your spiritual practices, if you had to keep exuding your strength, that stops. Is what I see, y'all. The Two of Cups. Okay, this is definitely giving partnerships, trying to have control of who you partner with. Okay. The Death card. Y'all, look, the Seven of Wands. This is a defense. There could have been people. This is like beyond probably what you know somebody was saying about you. They could have been speaking death on your name or conjuring up some dark stuff, but something is over. You've transmuted this energy. All right? You've transmuted the Death card to the Seven of Swords. Whatever deceptive lies, deceptive ways, deceptive gossip, deceptive trying to tarnish your character, anything of that nature by these cards on this on this table, you've transmuted it. I'm hearing on your high horse. Okay, you have a very protective spiritual team. There's a lot to unpack, y'all, for somebody this week ahead. The Two of Pentacles, okay? Remember what I was saying about Miss Robinson, that lady, Miss Patrick, she was trying to influence customers to cancel on her. So for some of you guys, this possibly could have had the intentions to damage the flow of your resources, your profit, your results from your hard work. There's consequences, y'all. The Moon card. It's like as if nobody, and then look, there's as if there's a heightened sense of protection. You guys are in the Nine of Pentacles. Not for 1 second was I actually thinking somebody was able to do whatever dark intentions. Like, this is dark intentions. Ain't nothing good come in and being influenced behind this judgment. There's nothing positive, no compassion, no trying to understand, no trying to release control when you are in this energy. You're out for blood. This is vengeance. There could be somebody feel threatened. Their position being threatened. But that's ill will. And something comes back. The Nine of Pentacles to the 10. Damn. You see what happens when you remain truthful. All right, it's not what you say, it's how you say it. All right, the intentions behind it. The Nine of Pentacles, this is your reward after clearing the air. The air is cleared. These are results that are unfolding in someone's life. And the results that you could be looking forward to after going through hell and back with somebody. You hear me? Hell and back. The Nine of Pentacles. The 10 of Pentacles. The Nine of Cups. Established. Okay? This is that green pasture. Okay? Spirit was speaking about in Psalms 23. All right? This is being led by the still waters. Okay? This is 19 Pentacles. The rewards are in money, all right? Remember what I said, you've transmuted this energy. So there was a way that you will or that you have been able to profit, to monetize, to transmute into resources for you. All right, for some of you guys, you could have done something with your name. You could have protected in a spiritual sense your resources in a way you know how, but there is a heightened sense of protection, and not only with what you accumulated, okay, because the Nine of Pentacles is saying you've been doing the work. All right, if you haven't been seeing results, oh baby, this is assuring you the results are coming in. All right, you will start to see them this week ahead for all your hard work. All right, this is self-made energy, and then the Ten of Pentacles is just confirming solid a lifestyle. The Ten of Pentacles is also responsible for other people's money, or your actions is responsible for the money flow. Okay, this is connected, right? When we're talking about businesses and networking and stuff like that, people wanting to invest into you, buying your product, getting to know you, donating, just things like that. That's the Ten of Pentacles, all right? Where now your family values and your financial goals have merged, okay? This could have been jealousy surrounding what you have, what you're building, the clients, the reputation, the way you receive, because it's looking like you receive money in abundance. All right, that's definitely giving entrepreneur. Okay, look, I'm telling you, your warring angel stationed around the resources that was trying to be disrupted, or how you gain. All right, there's something about an independent energy where this asset or this flow or of resources, it requires you to stand alone. It requires you to be present. It requires you, for some of you guys, it can even be content. I'm seeing like pictures, like showing your wealth, but giving God the glory. I'm hearing showing your wealth, but giving God the glory. That's your assignment. Damn. Showing your wealth and giving God the glory. That is powerful. All right, so that means that you are going to be well kept and maintained. This is a situation with you and God. You got a strong relationship with God right now. All right, that probably gives you that confidence, like, I am who I am. Okay, the Nine of Cups is complete bliss. It is complete satisfaction on a spiritual and material level. Okay, it's having what every human being desires here on this earth, here in the spirit. Feeling very accomplished, very satisfied with the outcome, very satisfied with the results by remaining in your truth. Okay. But there was definitely damage trying to be done when it comes to your stability. When it comes to you possibly needing loans or needing to borrow from certain things, institutions, baby, you are covered. Okay, July is looking like God is doing a new thing, and now it springs up. Don't worry about the former things. Okay, your Ten of Pentacles is protected. You are ready in a 9. All right, can I hold something? Okay. Profit, results, mastery. Okay? When you in this energy, sometimes you got to let go and let God. Sometimes you got to pray to your warring angels to station around your resources or whatever strategic plan the enemy is set out to do in your season of harvest. 10 of Pentacles, 9 of Pentacles. Okay? Sometimes everything is not meant to be fought in the physical. Spirit, what is, give me more on this Queen of Swords. Ace of Swords again. The Hierophant, Judgment. What is this truth? It's like as if it keeps getting realer and realer, like whatever communication is solid, it's real. The Knight of Wands. To the Eight of Swords. All right, for a lot of you guys, expect to be booked and busy, or whatever you are choosing to invest in that requires your energy, that requires you to be there, be present, be confident. All right, I see that there is so much forward action. Things are picking up. All right, there is a lot of communication coming in. You might be using your phone a lot. You might be emailing a lot. You might be texting a lot. There may be just your input being needed a lot. All right, something ain't adding up. All right, if there was any fear-based being pumped into you for you not to make a move when it comes to a desire or a goal, all right, that worry is being lifted, because that's where you grow. That is where the people that you are supposed to build healthy relationships with is at. All right, but there's freedom here. There is freedom, okay? There is freedom, confidence, a weight lifted, all right, knowing that what's in front of you is clear and whatever's behind you is getting handled, all right? It's as if you're not worrying about what you can't see. You're just focusing on what you can. And right now, what you can't see, you might not even want to see it. You hear me? So your reputation is safe. If there was any type of challenges in your resources, all right, all of that changed this week ahead, all right, something happens where you're gonna realize, wow, all right, something kind of like worked in your favor tremendously, all right, transmutation is big out here, all right, where you literally transmuted whatever deception, whatever tarnishing of character, whatever that was being said, you didn't fold, okay, and somehow you go from the 9 to the 10, that's profit. That's big profit. That's actually, I'm hearing passive income. That's another stream of income. Okay, so learning that's like a magician. Okay, doing things like that, that's what we call magic. All right, when you literally could take a situation that is trying to tarnish you or do some deceptive acts when it comes to your desires and what you built. The 9 of Pentacles is already saying you've built this. Imagine somebody just trying to come in and feeling like they got all of that, they got that much authority. Discernment also is playing a big role in this success. Somebody did not know it was going to turn out like this for you guys. The 9 of Wands, yeah. Look, to the King of Wands. There's a sense of confidence here. It is also a sense of needing to exude fire. All right, this is not an energy where you could be naive. This is not an energy that possibly is is being shown, is being directed to you. All right? This could be slander. This could be just, that's another form of witchcraft, lying and manipulating energy, hiding things, illusions. The Three of Pentacles to the Four of Wands, to the King of Swords. All right? This is a lot of increase and kind of like delays being lifted when it comes to your foundation. Like things were already being built. I see this is not something, there was kind of like an energy that kind of like required you to tap into something else while you're building, all right? And whatever that required, that type of energy, all right, to sustain and protect what you already built, the people that you are working with. I'm also hearing these are people, all right, you're moving forward in July with, all right, even at work. I see very good things for you at work. I see progress. I see advancement. I see building a strong team, a reliable team where all of the responsibility is not just on you. Y'all work very well together. And also being able to maintain your lifestyle. Also being welcomed and appreciated and accepted in some form of community. Okay, not feeling cast out, not feeling separate. This is very good energy for business, for success, for work. All right, reaping harvest for what you've been doing now, getting a recognition. All right, but somebody definitely was trying to stop it against your free will. Your motion, especially in your resources. You're going to feel very, very, very satisfied with the profit. Okay. There's a lot of people also speaking on your behalf. All right. Co-signing. That's what happens when you keep it real, when you remain real. No matter what's happening around you, you remain real. All right. The realer you are to each other, all right, the longer everything will last. All right, the Ten of Pentacles will last. You being independent will last. You building teams, leadership will last. You expanding in different communities, making a name, all right, doing things, building communities. I see also for a lot of you guys, it's looking like you are good with people, and this situation probably only enhanced the way you do business, or not allowing something like this even get the exposure of messing up your business. This taught you a lot. So there is some sort of advancement where you could possibly branch out to like selling homes or building homes or doing something involving community work. Four of Wands, Three of Pentacles, okay? Being an influence on the areas where something might need improvement. That's how you become a billionaire, when you solve a problem. And there's always a problem to be solved in your community. Okay? If there was anybody trying to tarnish your character when it comes to such a name you're building in your community, there's something not adding up. All right, there are people that's kind of like realizing something's not adding up. It's also making that opposer look very deranged, look very crazy, look very envious. Okay, so something actually works out in your favor. Trying to dim your light or trying to manipulate energies in a deceptive way at that. And you remaining solid. All right? You letting your fruit speak. Even while, maybe for a little while, something required you to stand alone. Remember in Miss Robinson, people started to act funny. Sometimes people act ignorant to what they don't know. And it's always two sides to the story. And right now, yours is being heard. Yours is being acknowledged. Okay? And what you have and what you are attaining and the connections you have is just not adding up to any type of foolery that is trying to be painted. of you guys. All right, even your energy, the Nine of Cups. And you in the Nine of Pentacles, something is not adding up. All right, and that's what happens when you put too much spotlight and hate on people. People will start going to research that person and they see just abundance. They see abundance. They are being talked about in a high regard. So this is good for you guys and your success. Profit. A lot of profit. Also feeling very satisfied. Feeling like a dream come true. All right. Very, very content with results right now. Okay. And it's going to feel very good after probably a period of even you tired of showing strength or protecting your reputation heavily recently with these people or somebody. Okay, so I love you guys and I hope that helps.